Hi, I'm Kane Cornes, and this is what really happened. So today we're going to go back to the end of 2012 and the pre-season of 2013. In 2012, we were a basket case of a football club. We'd won 5 wins, the coach had lost his job, the president had gone, we'd had the tragic death of a teammate and the club was trying to come to terms with that. There was financial crisis happening within the football club and the future of it was a little bit up in the air. Enter Ken Hinkley and Keith Thomas as the CEO, and they pretty much single-handedly turned the football club around. Ken's message right from day one was get the little things right, and the little things add up to big things. So it was big on punctuality, the way we looked at training, the way we dressed, skin folds, what we ate, our diets, and the professionalism of the club really did go through the roof. Pre-season was pretty good. It was pretty solid. As always, I'm the new fitness coach, Darren Burgess. We had a pre-season camp to Dubai and the players are really fit. And the pre-season games came around, which is always an exciting and important time as an AFL footballer. Now, back in 2013, they had a Mickey Mouse competition, really, where the first pre-season game actually played against 2 teams. Some might remember you'd play one team, have a break, and then come on later and play the third team. Now, it was in this third game, late in the third game, we're talking about a pre-season game in February, where I went for a ground ball against the Crows and Ricky Henderson. Now, looking at the vision, it was a pretty ordinary effort, but I thought maybe one that I'd get away with in February. It was late in a pre-season game. Of course, you don't want to get hurt in these situations, and I didn't really think anything of it. Got through unscathed, uninjured, got some fitness up, and that was the aim of the pre-season. But when we entered the change rooms after that pre-season game, I was absolutely rocked by what my new coach, Ken Hinkley, had to say to me. As he addressed the playing group, one of the first things he said was, if anyone gives a weak effort like Kane Cornes just did then against Ricky Henderson, you will not play in my side. He went on to single me out. He got me to explain my actions in front of the group and reiterated that it just wasn't acceptable. Now, it was all in line with his little things adding up to big things. He thought, and his philosophy was that a small ground ball in a pre-season game is a little thing that could come back to hurt us in big games later on in the season. He went on, gave me absolutely one of the biggest sprays, essentially calling me weak and questioning my courage. Of all the coaches that I played under, of course, Mark Williams had a pretty ferocious reputation, but he had nothing on Ken Hinkley. When Ken Hinkley gave you a spray, he absolutely unleashed to the point where it was almost frightening. And that's what happened to me on this day in February after a Mickey Mouse pre-season game, and I couldn't believe it. It actually rocked me. I didn't even have a shower. I left the change rooms in my playing kit, straight in the car, straight home, didn't talk to anyone. Had the game recorded at home, and when I got home, I watched the incident on replay about 15 times. And when I really critically analysed it, it was a pretty weak and poor effort, and Ken Hinkley was actually spot on. So on Monday, I got up in front of the playing group, and the Monday morning review meetings can always be daunting for players. And I showed the vision. I said, look, Ken was right. It was unacceptable, and it won't happen again. Now, these were the little things that Ken Hinkley would not let slide right throughout the year from, as I said, punctuality, the way we dressed, how we travelled. You weren't allowed to wear hats on the aeroplane. That was how pedantic he was with the standards he was setting at the Port Adelaide Football Club. But it was spot on to the point where he took a side that was a basket case, a rabble, to 5 wins in 2012, to finals the next year, and actually won a big final at the MCG against a much more fancied Collingwood side. It was a good lesson to all of us. It was a good lesson for life that the little things do add up to big things. And that's what really happened when I copped the massive, unexpected pre-season spray.
Damien Barrett sits down with the coach and unravels what makes this great footy brain tick. A Life in Football brings brilliant insight.
As my kids would say, Damo, all G. All good.
Watch it now on the AFL Live app and afl.com.au, your home of footy.